close it down. Local bus to the red carpet gowns. Lady Rose the queen with the news to crown. Saturday morning, feel the groove. Sip your coffee and catch the mood. Lady Rose got the scoop for you. Let's make the morning move.
She's your queen to be.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the live. I hope you guys can hear me. I am trying out a new microphone. Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I've had this microphone for a minute and I decided I would use it today because I noticed the other day I was kind of moving around and the sound was kind of distorted. So I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. So anywho, good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Scoop with LadyRo. I am LadyRo and welcome to my queendom. And when I say queendom, it's not in any kind of meaning of I am superior, better than anybody. Queendom simply means I am operating under the queen who I am, my inner being, my inner queen. I operate under her. And thank you guys for joining. Good morning, Miss AK. Hey, oh, thanks, living for me, so you can't hear me. Good morning, that's me, AD. So glad you guys decided to join. Good morning, living for me. We got a lineup for you, baby. A line up for you. I have been up this morning doing all kinds of stuff around my house. We had the last of the Mohicans moved out of the house this week. And child, we was giving her anything she wanted. Good morning, Symmetry. If she wanted it, we was like, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. And she hasn't been back. So since she hasn't been back, they left Mama to clean up whatever they left behind. So I have 2 rooms I have to clean and a bathroom that, oh my God. So this morning I woke up early, got into, she said, glad to be in friendly territory. Always. You've been in the enemy's camp, girl. Come on back over here. This morning I got up early, and you know how you just know there's things you need to do. And my daughter's bathroom closet is where we put dirty towels, and I opened up the door and towels just fell out. And I'm like, what is going on here? Because normally she takes them downstairs, but I guess she didn't have time. So I had to grab all these towels, put them in the washer. Of course, there are 3 loads of towels that were in her closet, bathroom closet, in the dirty clothes hamper. So I've been washing, and I took down shower curtains, threw the liner in the trash, washed the other line, washed the curtain, and I'm just go. After I get off this, I'm gonna go to the store, buy some paint and some more cleaning products, but we're gonna scrub that bathroom. And she told me, oh, by the way, I meant to tell you that my bathroom tub is draining really slow. So it means I gotta call a plumber to come snake out the drain. Child, I'm gonna get these eyebrows done because I have probably the thickest eyebrows on earth, and I haven't had them threaded in about a month. So I need to go get them done. Reason why I hadn't gotten them threaded, she messed up one of them. So I was like, I'm gonna let this sucker grow in. They thick here and then they thin out, child. But we gonna work with what we got. Praise ye the Lord. So glad to have you guys here. Let's get on over here to our things that we just got to get out of the way. Please like, share, comment. That is not on here, but I love the comments. I love to engage back and forth with the audience. She said, I'm trying to do laundry and household stuff before going to the ballet tonight. Okay, girl, I love the ballet. I love the ballet. You said, I need my eyebrow shaped. Me too. I looked at them this morning. I was like, okay, it's time. And I think they've grown in enough. Girl, go get them things done. Because my eyebrows are so thick. Whenever I go to ladies, like, oh my God, people pay for eyebrows like yours. And I was like, yeah, probably I need the end done. But this here, child, this is something to be tamed. Good morning, Terry. Thanks for joining the live. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I am so glad to have you guys here with me today. Fair use disclaimer. Some material in this video is used under U.S. Copyright Fair Use Section 107 for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. I have to remember I have a mic here, girl, because I keep trying to touch it. And this, y'all may not be able to see it. Y'all love this shirt. I just bought it, but it says "I am Black History," and it has all the things on it. Peace, oh Lord, proud, fearless, powerful, strong, and smart. As a Black woman, I love me a good t-shirt. I love a good t-shirt. I got this one at a little t-shirt shop that I go to. I I buy one every year for Juneteenth and Black History. I'm always gonna have me a Black History shirt. The one I bought last year, I think it says all we ever did was be black. That's all we ever did was just be black. And they got us in trouble. That's all we ever did was be black. But I love my I am Black History shirt. So I wore it today because I got to get out here in these streets. I don't have to have on scrubs today. So I get to get out here in these streets and do a couple of things. I think I might go meet my oldest daughter for lunch today. Just have a good time with her. So, again, we've already done some of our pleasantries and got some things out of the way. Remember, all views expressed today in this here live, they're alleged, in my opinion, and they're all for entertainment purposes. That's it. I'm going to dislike nobody, love everybody you around. I'm going to put my clicker down in the comment section, in the bottom, so that'll just give me my fair use. So you'll know what we're doing. Today we got a lot of stuff ahead of us. Let's first go over here. I always try to start with people, notable mentions who have passed away within the week. But as we know, Little John's son was missing. And I believe they found him on yesterday in a pond located, if not on the property, but near the property in Atlanta that his dad owns. Um, this is body believed to be Little John's son, DJ Young, is found in pond near Atlanta. This is a picture of Little John, better known as Jonathan Smith, and his son. I believe his son's name is Nathan Smith, aka DJ Young Slade. Um, and it says in Milton, Georgia, a person believed to be the son of rapper Little John has been found dead in a pond near a pond north of Atlanta, police said Friday. Nathan Smith, known professionally as DJ Young Slade, left his home in Milton under unusual circumstances early Tuesday morning, police said. Little John said in a statement posted to his Instagram page that he and Smith's mother, Nicole Smith, were extremely brokenhearted for the tragic loss of our son. Nathan was the kindest human being you would ever meet, the statement reads. He was immensely caring, thoughtful, polite, passionate, and warm hearted. He loved his family and the friends in his life to the fullest. Nathan Smith, 27, ran out of his house and has been missing since. Police said in a missing persons poster they circulated on social media. He left on foot and does not possess a phone, police said. He may be disoriented and in need of assistance. Family and friends are concerned for his safety. Y'all, let's offer our prayers to Little John and his partner or his son's mother, I think her name was Nicole Smith, in the unaliving of their son from this past week. I really hate to hear of young people who seem to be maybe struggling with things who pass away. So we're definitely going to be praying for them and everything that is around them. Let's go into something. Well, we'll keep it since we're on the trail of people who are missing and passing away. Um, I believe her name is a young lady by the name of Savannah Guthrie. She is a journalist, news reporter, I believe, for, I want to say CNN, but child, I may be wrong. Let me move my hand because I keep touching this thing. I believe, is she a news reporter for, I want to say CNN, but child, I could be wrong. Again, I could be wrong. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't pull it up. Her mother is missing. So let's be in prayer for her. I believe they're saying that they believe her mother has been abducted. Oh, the NBC morning news, child. The NBC morning show, the Today Show. Okay, thank you, Miss AK, because I don't watch her. I don't know nothing about her. In the morning time, I watch local news on Channel 4, and then I be heading out the door. I watch Fox News, and I'm gone. That's it. I just want to see what's pretty much what's going on with traffic, and if what the weather's like, and then I'm normally rolling. I don't really see. So okay, so she was the morning. Miss AKA said good morning everyone, but she was on the Today Show. So her mother's missing. We've heard several things of speculation. There was blood splatter at the front door. Cars have been taken in for testing and investigations. Son-in-law has been a suspect. Just several different things that we've heard this week about this. Only thing we can do for us on this side is, honey, pray. That's all we can do for Savannah and for her family members and even for her mom, is to pray that her mom is safe and that she does return home safely. That's what we can do on our part in this world. Washing and chopping up veggies. Ooh, that sounds good, Miss AKA. I forgot you on punishment, so you locked in the house. Yeah, keep washing, chopping those veggies. Send me some because I really could do some good veggies. I realized, good, Miss. That's me, AD, is speaking to Miss AKA. I really realized this week, just how sometimes you just sit down and you analyze your meals and what you've eaten for the week. And I was like, I haven't had many vegetables this week. I did have turnip greens one day this week, just one day. The rest of the week, I've only had French fries. I'm thinking, have I had any? I had some corn. I had some rice. Had some bell peppers, some red bell peppers. I like red bell peppers. I think that's it. Some tomatoes, and I'm not supposed to have tomatoes, but I did have some tomatoes. Tomatoes don't agree with you, girl. Um, I'm trying to think what I had this week. That's it. I think that's it when it comes to vegetables. So I really need to do better with eating my veggies. I really do need. I normally have a salad a couple of times a week. I normally have some spinach, some kale. I haven't did any of those things this week. So we gotta do better about eating our veggies. I don't recall having any symmetry. We got to do better about eating our veggies. Luckily, I did have some turnip greens because I went to this restaurant and this lady was like, "What are you?" Because I was like, "Give me some okra," and she goes, "Oh, we're out of okra." I love fried okra. And I was like, y'all don't have any okra? She was like, no. What are you looking for? I said, I need something green. She goes, oh, we have turnip greens, we have cabbage, we have collards. I said, okay, I'll take some turnip greens. I did have turnip greens this week. And I got my fish in. I did an analysis one time and it said that I should be eating more fish. Um, so in fact, the guy even told me when I did, he said, everyone, it tells everybody you should be eating more fish. So I try to eat salmon a couple of times a week. And then this week I had some cod. I didn't have any salmon, but I do have salmon downstairs. So I will be cooking some salmon probably tomorrow if my family don't find a place for me to go out to eat because they want to go out to eat every week. But let's move on a little bit further. Tomorrow is Super Bowl 60. It will be the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Girl, I don't care about none of them people. Not one bit. Because you know what? I'm a Cowboy fan. In case you didn't know, I am a Cowboy fan. And that's pretty much the only people that I be worried about. So go Cowboys. Because whatever. Bad Bunny will be performing at the halftime show on this year's 60th Super Bowl performance. I think it's gonna be great. Anywho, I'm sure most of my husband got. I went downstairs a few minutes ago, baby. He got 4 football pots got them spread out on my island, and I need to clean my island. I just left them sitting there. So hopefully when he gets home, he'll fold them up and put them away, or put them in his pocket, or take them out to his man cave. It don't matter to me. Just get him off my island. I guess he wanted me to see how many pots he was in, or maybe he was checking his numbers. I don't know. But he playing a Super Bowl pot every year before. I think it's a little ridiculous, but I ain't gonna say nothing because it's his money. And another thing, maybe my husband went. And when I say every year, my honey went every year. So baby, play all the pots you want to, because he always, when I say always, he always wins on the Super Bowl pot, baby. It don't be no little change. You get some good money on Super Bowl pot. So y'all make sure y'all watch the Super Bowl tomorrow. And I hope that the Seahawks win. I don't know. I don't have a dog in this fight. The Cowboys ain't playing, so let's go with the Seahawks. Let's see where we at because I'm kind of skipping around on my paper. I don't want to. Let's go on over here and talk about y'all president, honey. You said I hit the football board several times this season. See symmetry. I used to play when I was working at a different location, and we had a guy there who actually ran a pot. Where I work at now, nobody's running a pot, so it's kind of hard. I'm not gonna go around saying you got a football pot, you got a football board, you got a football board. So that's kind of where I miss out, but I do miss playing on the football pot. Yeah, when I tell you I got so many things listed for us to talk about today, I don't even know where to start. But let's start with old Trump. Trump done went over there to his Truth Social, y'all, and he posted a video of my president. Child, I didn't think none of it was funny, but I'm playing here so y'all can see it. Remember, we are invoking the Copyright Fair Use Act. I found this over there on the TikTokers. I'm not playing it because there's music involved, y'all. No music, no sound. This is the video that Trump decided was appropriate to put out for the whole world to see. This is so inappropriate. So inappropriate. Jungle animals turning Washington into a full-blown cartoon animal kingdom. Donald Trump is portrayed as a lion king, crowned the king of the jungle, while other politicians in different animal costumes. Ah, appalling. Appalling. This is who y'all wanted to be y'all president. That's me, ADC. I didn't think it was funny either. This is who y'all voted to be our president of these here United States. All right. Moving on down the road. Good morning, Dee Dee Hill. Thanks for joining. Thank you. All right. I guess we can get into something a little bit heavy. I guess we can move into some heavy stuff. The U.S. has given Ukraine and Russia a deadline to reach a deal to end their nearly 4-year war. President Zelensky told reporters as Russian strikes on energy infrastructure forced nuclear power plants to cut output on Saturday. If the June deadline is not met, the Trump administration will likely put pressure on both sides to meet it, he added. Child, the Americans are proposing the parties to end the war by the beginning of summer and will probably put pressure on the parties precisely according to the schedule, Zelensky said to reporters on Friday. Child, here we go over there minding somebody else's business, trying to tell them what they should do, what they shouldn't do, so on and so forth. As you may or may not know, the Winter Olympics are underway. I'm trying to think, where are the Winter Olympics this year? I don't know. But I got an article on it. The Winter Olympics have begun. They're in Milan. Isn't that great? And they're underway. So you guys, one thing I want you to remember, because I'm going to give y'all a quiz at the end. This is 2026 Winter Olympics. The Winter Olympics, the person who has sponsored the majority of the costumes for the Winter Olympics has been Ralph Lauren. I want you to remember that because we're going to talk about this later on. All right. Let me mark that off my list about the Winter Olympics. You guys, y'all know I love me a Deion Sanders. I am a Deion Sanders fan. I love Deion Sanders. Well, this week, Deion Sanders was asked if he would ever consider being a coach in the NFL. I want you to hear what old Dion had to say, child. You know, like I said, I'm a Deion Sanders fan, so you know, it ain't too much you can tell me Deion done did. Then I'm gonna be like, that's my boy. Don't talk about my boy. But go ahead, let's listen to what Deion had to say.
The NFL. Before, and I know you're happy at Colorado, but before Shoddy went to the Cowboys, your name was kind of in the mix. Is there anything that would get you to jump to the National Football League?
Not whatsoever. What transpired with my son last year, ain't no way in the world. No, I don't ever. Thank you, Lord. When I stop like that,
keep you from saying you don't need to say.
When I stop like that, that don't mean
God
that don't mean I'm lost for words. That means God said,
That's too wrong.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
That means God said you're a head coach now. You can't do that. Now you can't talk like that. You can't say that. I know you're comfortable with your brothers here, but you can't say that.
Let's stay in the NFL.
Listen one more time.
And I know you're happy at Colorado, but before Shoddy went to the Cowboys, your name was kind of in the mix. Is there anything that would get you to jump to the National Football League?
Not whatsoever. What transpired with my son last year, ain't no way in the world. No, I don't ever. Thank you, Lord. When I stop like that.
Y'all, when I tell you that had me on the floor, thank you, Lord. Mid-sentence, thank you, Lord. I know that's right, Dion. When I tell you God will shut your mouth, just like he shut the jaws of the lion when Daniel was in the lion's den, baby. He's like, thank you, Lord. Right, before it come out, you have to say, I don't blame him either, AD. I don't blame him either. It just ain't gonna work out for him. And I appreciate him for just being honest. This ain't it. This is not it. He's like, thank you, Lord. Y'all want to see that one more time? Oh, I think I cut it off. I deleted it. But y'all got to watch it. That was on Instagram. Deion Sanders was asked if he would ever consider being a coach in the NFL. And he said, after what was done to my son, and he went to say something else, and he stopped. And he said, you know, sometimes that's when God be correcting me. He'd be like, Deion, reel it on in. And I really thought that was so cute, and it was funny at the same time. Let's see. Well, also this week, as you know, more Epstein files came out. More Epstein files came out. And Bill Clinton has agreed to actually sit and have a public hearing, I believe, because of course they was aggravating him and talking about he needed to come and talk. But Clinton finalized agreement to testify in-house to Epstein probe, bowing to threat of contempt vote. Former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton finalized an agreement with the House Republicans Tuesday to testify in a House investigation into Jeffrey Epstein this month, bowing to the threat of a contempt of Congress vote against him. Hillary will testify before the House Oversight Committee on February the 26th, and Bill Clinton will appear on February 27th. It will mark the first time that lawmakers have compelled a former president to testify. The arrangement comes after months of negotiating between the two sides as Republicans sought to make the Clintons, both Democrats, a focal point in a House committee investigation into Epstein, a convicted ex-offender who unalived himself in a New York jail cell in 2019. And his girlfriend or former girlfriend is the only person. I want to bring that out as well. His Epstein's ex-girlfriend is the only person who has been locked up besides Epstein for these crimes against young people, young girls. She's the only, and she don't possess a penile implant. Okay? We're going to let that go with that. I want that to resonate in everyone's head. There is a female locked up in prison. She played a part. But what about the rest of these people who were there and actually did the do with these young girls? We ain't going to let none of that slide. Y'all want the Clintons up there? We need some more folks up there. They want the Clintons to testify behind closed doors. And they said, no, make it public or we won't do it. I totally agree with them. And I am appreciative of Bill Clinton agreeing to only have a public hearing. I am agreeing to that. I'm glad for that because as it is, you don't bring in former presidents and Bill's up in age. He's not a young spring chicken like he was when old girl was in the office on her knees and keeping the dress and stuff. He's not that gentleman. Bill Clinton has aged. So I think it's only fair that the American public gets an opportunity to be a part of what's going on with and see what's going on with all of this. Also, we talked about Clinton. There is a gentleman, he ain't too much of a gentleman. Let me see if I can find it. Who actually thought I said, here we go. Who actually has been he was a Slovakian prime minister or an official, and he actually stepped down this week because of the Epstein files. Newly disclosed U.S. government files on Jeffrey Epstein have prompted the resignation of a top official in Slovakia and revived calls in Britain for a former prince to share what he knows with authorities about Epstein's link to powerful individuals around the world. The fallout comes just a day after the Justice Department began releasing a massive trove of files that offer more details about Epstein's interactions with the rich and famous after he served time for X crimes in Florida. The Prime Minister of Slovakia accepted the resignation on Saturday of an official, Miroslava Lavaska. Y'all know these names be tough over there. Who once had a year-long term as president of the UN General Assembly. Let's say Lackjack. Wasn't accused of wrongdoing, but left his position after photos and emails revealed he had met with Epstein in the years after Epstein was released from jail. So, Chad, these people, they getting them one by one. They are getting them. They getting them. It's unfortunate, but child, you do the do, you got to get locked up. Remember that too. Remember, we're gonna test how much you know about the news this week. How well you've been paying attention to the news, by what we're talking about. Okay. Let's see. Where we want to go to next? South Africa's Ministry of Trade and Industry said that an agreement would start negotiations over a deal with China. They have struck a deal, or they're trying to strike a deal with China, uh, to give some South African goods such as fruit and duty-free access to the China market. This ministry said it expected the trade deal to be finalized by the end of March. Y'all, this is huge for South Africa because, hey, Sergeant Charge, this is huge for Africa because when you start doing straight deals to China instead of other places, China is one of the strongest countries in America, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every single day. So, child, when I tell you that's something we need to be watching out for. South Africans Ministry of Trade and Industry said the agreement would start negotiations over a deal that would give some South African goods such as fruit and duty-free access to the Chinese market. Baby, Africa own a good one, and they ain't playing with America, baby. Y'all want to put all these tariffs on us? We just go over here. We're gonna just bypass all of y'all and go somewhere else. Good morning, Ariel. Thanks for joining the live today. Let's see. I think we finished pretty much everything on this first page. Let's go on over here and talk about the Washington Post. The Washington Post, y'all, cut more than 300 jobs this week. It laid off more than 300 journalists. Remember that as well. The Washington Post carried out a widespread round of layoffs on Wednesday that decimated the organization's sports, local news, and international coverage. The company laid off about 30% of all of its employees. According to two people with knowledge of the decision, that includes people on the business side and more than 300 of the roughly 800 journalists in the newsroom, the people said. The cuts are a sign that Jeff Bezos, who became one of the world's richest people by selling things on the internet has not yet figured out how to build and maintain a profitable publication on the internet. The paper expanded during the first 8 years of his ownership, but the company has sputtered most recently. You know what sputters mean? Put, 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 put. Matt Murray, the Post executive editor, said on a call Wednesday morning with newsroom employees that the company had lost too much money for too long and had not been meeting readers' needs. He said that all sections would be affected in some way and that the result would be a publication focused even more on national news and policies, as well as business and health, and far less on other areas. I will tell you this. I will tell you this. Look for oh, thank you, Ariel. This is crayon case. I forgot the color, but it's a really, really bright pink. I'll put the color. We'll look it up before I leave. So look for these journalists to pop up on this YouTube, baby, and start giving y'all the news. We're gonna see more and more independent journalism since they laid off 30% of their workforce. Washington Post laid off. That's a lot of people. A lot of people being put back out here in the workforce. So, child, y'all remember that too. Minute Maid is ending its frozen products after 80 years of selling frozen products. It's beautiful. I love a good lip cup. Thank you. So y'all, let's go on over here and see this. My plan is to get through this live and not take a whole lot of time. After 80 years, Minute Maid's frozen canned juices are getting put on ice. Y'all remember these when you, in fact, I make a frozen lemon pie. I think it's called icebox lemon pie, I believe is what they call it. It is just Cool Whip, lime juice or lemonade. And what I do is I squeeze one lime, one thing of limeade, because I do mine. I don't do lemon. I do lime. Limeade. I used to use the frozen packets, and I ain't been able to find them. Here's why: they're getting rid of them. Because I was gonna make one at Christmas. Think of lime juice. So I would take the half of the frozen package and make a half a cup and pour it in the whipped cream with condensed milk. I'm trying to think, is that all that goes in there? I believe so. And pour it in a pie shell and put it in the refrigerator, and child, you got your good old fluffy pie. Minute Maid helped make orange juice a year-round morning staple in 1946 when it started shipping cans of frozen juice around. But 80 years later, the brand's parent company is halting sales of frozen juice concentrates in the U.S. and Canada. And I will tell you this: when I looked for that lemonade, I noticed there wasn't any orange juice either in the frozen juice section. Saying it wants to focus on fresh juices that customers now prefer. We are discontinuing our frozen products and exiting the frozen can category in response to shifting consumer preferences. The Coca-Cola company, which owns Minute Maid, said Wednesday in a statement. Minute Maid's frozen juices, including several varieties of orange juices, lemonade, and limeade, will be discontinued by April with inventory available while supplies last, Coca-Cola said. For generations, Americans who wanted orange juice without the work of squeezing fresh fruit cracked open a can and watched a cylinder of frozen juice go kerplunk into a pitcher. The concentrated juice was mixed with water to make it ready for drinking. I can remember this is one of the things that I made for my kids when they were smaller. We use frozen orange juice, and it's going to be a thing of the past. You heard it here on Lady Ro's channel. Minute Maid is getting rid of their frozen juices, and I'm sad. I really hate things. I really like. To me, I thought the frozen juice tastes better than canned. Child, it is what it is. She said, "Oh, I hate they're getting rid of those. They were good and economical for those on WIC and SNAP benefits." Exactly. If you were on WIC, you got those frozen orange juices. I don't know what they give out now. For. I guess they would give fresh juices. I don't know. You said, I think I used a frozen Minute Maid once to make this punch I saw on the internet. See, that's VAD, baby. You ain't gonna see none of them no more. They gone. And the thing that I liked about them over years, they used to be in like a cardboard container. They switched them over to plastic containers, but that's a waste too. But I could put the lid back on the plastic, put it back in the refrigerator because I would only use so much of it to make my pie. Child. Now I'm sad. Good morning, Pretty Riri Speaks. Thanks for joining the live. State Department will delete X post from before Trump returns to office. What? Excuse me, y'all. Did I belch? Because, honey, I felt that in my spirit. We're going to have to look at that. Y'all look at this because I didn't know anything about this. That means a lot of stuff's going to be wiped off of Twitters. That's what X is. It's the old Twitter. And I will tell you this, that may not be a bad thing, but it's a sad thing because I have a lot of stuff on X, child. A lot of good stuff, but it's some pornography on X that they need to go on and wipe it clean. Yes, there's a lot of child. You could be scrolling on X and be like, oh, what happened? How did I get on this? So yeah, I when I tell you I proceed with caution when I'm on X, I do. They've been doing some cleaning up, but it's some graphic things on X. A lot. I'm telling you, things that you can't. Let's say you hear about something that happens in America, but they won't allow it on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. It's on X. Trust me, it's gonna be over there in the Twitter streets. It's definitely gonna be over there. You can always find it there. You know what? I was having this conversation with my sister the other day. I own a bidet, and I'm sure some of you guys own a bidet. And I actually purchased a bidet after traveling overseas some years back. I think I've had a bidet probably over 10 plus years. And I realized, in fact, my next home will have a bidet installed. Like it's got to come with it. Me and my husband build us a new home. I'm gonna have to have a bidet. But the countries issue some safety concerns regarding bidets. Traveling overseas, I realized America, we just nasty. We just nasty and we waste a lot. We think that we have the best sewer systems or whatever, and we might do. I'm not gonna say we don't, but I will say this: that a bidet is very clean and fresh. It leaves you feeling clean. It leaves you feeling fresh. When we were in Bali, child, I ain't gonna say Bali. Paris was probably my first actual interaction with the bidet, and I was like, okay, this is different. I called back and even told my mom, I was like, "Mom, they got this bidet in here." My mom actually walked me through all the steps of how to use a bidet properly, how it saves tissue. She knew all the things, but hadn't shared any of this with her grown adult child. So I purchased my own bidet, but there has been some safety concerns that have been issued by um, I don't know who issued them, probably just a bunch of weirdos, some who want to control things. But child, this is a bidet in America. In overseas, it's a separate whole seat with water flowing. In the United States, this is pretty much what you're going to see standard. This is a smart bidet. Once considered an oddity in American homes, bidets are becoming increasingly common as more people seek a hygienic and sustainable alternative to toilet paper or a hand managed certain physical conditions. People have issues. Bidets really come in handy with cleaning your room. Okay. Toilet paper shortages during the COVID-19 pandemic help demystify the devices for U.S. consumers. I had mine way before COVID hit America. Although Italy, Japan, and some other countries where bidets are standard bathroom features, also saw runs on TP toilet paper shortages. Environmental awareness, less expensive bidet options, and the development of smart toilets that perform multiple functions have given further momentum to the idea of rinsing instead of wiping. And I was telling my sister that in other countries, where they have bidets, they use less toilet paper. I noticed in Bali, they'll give you a toilet paper roll that may, let's say the rounds are a round of a toilet paper. If you just put your thumb in the center, and you may have this much, where in other countries you may get this much, right? The last country I visited was Italy, and they have the smallest. I told my niece, "Oh my God, they have the smallest roll of toilet paper." Thailand was about the same amount. They had small rolls of toilet paper as well. Some of the things that I noticed. Well, in that, they do that because my sister goes, "Well, what are they using to, are they just air drying or pad and dry?" I said, maybe they're pad and dry or maybe they're air drying, doing the both, one of the same. But it does save on tissue. Bidets even earned a moment in the national spotlight last month when Zara Modami, New York City's new mayor, said he hoped to have them installed in the bathrooms of Gracie's mansion, the 18th century Manhattan home that serves as the official residence of the city's chief executive. So medical professions sometimes recommend bidets for patients with, bottom problems or recovering from surgery and those who have limited mobility due to age or disabilities. But experts say bidets are not best for everyone and need to be used properly to prevent other problems. Here's some of the ins and outs to consider. Bidets use a jet of water to clean the bottom areas after someone goes to the bathroom. They originally existed mainly as a standalone fixture separate from toilets. Like I said, in other countries, you'll find them, they stand alone. In other countries, I've also noticed they're like a nozzle, a spray nozzle that you would have on your sink. I think that was in Italy, one of the biggest things they had bidets, standalone bidets, and some of them had the spray nozzles. Just depend on where you were. I think we went to 3 different locations. We went to 4 because we stayed in Rome, Venice, Florence, and Rome, Venice, Florence. There was one other place we stayed in. It'll come to me later. But at we switched hotels everywhere we stayed. In every hotel, we stayed in all Hilton properties, but they all had different types of bidets. Some had standalones, some just had the spray nozzles. These days, the options include toilet seat attachments and handheld versions that resemble detachable shower heads, which I just mentioned. Many of the latest smart toilets come with integrated bidets and feature heated seats, adjustable water pressure, and air dryers. That's all cute and dandy. On YouTube and other social media platforms, there are videos, demonstrations of how to make a portable bidet with a plastic soda bottle. Child, y'all do as you will. Uh, Proper bidet etiquette. Bidets converts tend to rave about how much cleaner the appliances leave them feeling. Since all toileting activities involve delicate body parts and bacteria, experts stress that correct bidet use is required to make the activity as sanitary as possible. When using standalone bidets, the ones installed on toilets, is best, especially for women, to turn on the faucet while facing the controls so the washing is done from front to back, according to David, whoever he is, a colorectal surgeon with the Huntington Hospital in Huntington, New York. This position prevents the transfer of bacteria from the back area to the front area. Most doctors recommend using warm water at low pressure for up to a few minutes, avoiding any extreme temperatures. You can also try gentle soap if desired, but it's usually not necessary for regular bidet users. Y'all remember this. Remember, we're going to go back and we're going to ask some questions, and this is going to be part of it, okay? This is going to be part of it. Sorry, y'all. Had an appointment. I'm back. Hello. Thanks for rejoining. Yes. I hope it all went well. But yeah, so bidet uses. Remember, warm water at a low flow, baby. You just want to get clean. We're trying to clean you out. I think we've done everything pretty much. Let's talk about the Grammys. Anybody watch the Grammys last week? Child, the Grammys went on, and I just got a list of winners from the Grammys, and I don't drop the list on the floor. Yeah. I got a list of Grammy winners. General Field, album of the year. Y'all, album of the year made news. It actually it didn't make news, but it made history. First Spanish album to receive album of the year, which was Bad Bunny. Record of the year was Luther by Kendrick Lamar. I love me some Kendrick Lamar. She's a fan. She's a fan. She's a fan. Song of the year, Wildflower by Billie Eilish. Best new artist was Olivia Dean. Pop and dance. Best pop and vocal album was Mayhem by Lady Gaga. A best pop solo performance was Messy by Lola Young. Best pop duo group performance was Defying Gravity by Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Best dance and electronic recording, End of Summer by Tame Impala. Best dance and pop recording was Abracadabra by Lady Gaga. Best dance and electronic album was by FKA Twigs, Asexuala. Child, I don't know what that means. Latin and Global Awards, Best Latin Pop Album was by Natalia Lafourcade. Best Latin Rock Alternative Album was by K-Trail and Paco Amoroso. Best Mexican Album was Karina Leon. Best Tropical Latin Album was Gloria Estefan. Best Global Musical Performance was by Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny will be performing at the 60th Super Bowl on tomorrow. That's the list of your Grammy Award winners. Let me see what else I got. I got some other stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about. We've already talked about that. Elon Musk, he has some tunnels in Las Vegas, y'all. And I don't know how many of you guys have been to Las Vegas recently, but these tunnels are receiving some scrutiny. Apparently, the people in Las Vegas want the tunnels. They've been approved to get 68 more miles of tunnels. These tunnels are just for Teslas. Now, you can't take your little regular gasoline car down through there. It is just for Teslas to be able to move around, to get from the airport over to the strip, to get to your hotel rooms faster without, because the traffic in Vegas is a bugbear. But that was just one of the things that they did. One of the last things I want to talk about, and then we're going to move forward because maybe I got something else I really want to talk about with you guys. Real ID. We talked about this, I believe, on last week, but I want to reiterate it. The little star on your U.S. driver's license is about to save you $45 beginning Sunday, which will have been last Sunday. I did not know about this, but now we do. Air travelers in the U.S. without a real ID or another acceptable form of identification, such as a passport, are subjected to new fees. So I want you to be paying attention. TSA will now start charging you $45 if you don't have a real ID. It isn't a penalty or a fine. It is a payment for non-compliant travelers to use the Transportation Security Administration's new alternative identification verification option called Confirm ID. But the process takes extra time, and paying the fee doesn't guarantee you'll make your flight. Y'all make sure y'all go out there and get that real ID. I don't know what the kickback has been without, the reason why people hasn't gotten it. The Department of Homeland Security says most U.S. travelers are already compliant and that the fee is meant to encourage the rest, those without a star marked real ID, to obtain one. Still, the new fee may catch some passengers off guard. So here's the breakdown. I'm not going to go through the breakdown. Here's what I want you guys to do. Go get your real ID. These are what you want to look for. You want to look for that gold star. You want to look for the American flag. Those are the only things you really need to be looking for when it comes down to that real ID. I got one more thing I want to show. Let me pull it up. I believe it's not. I believe it's on the ticker talkers. I got two things I want to show then. Let me leave this here. And we're going to come back to her. We're going to come back to her. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay. Y'all ready? You said, hey, Queen Script, thanks for joining. Queen Script, we're almost at the end. Oh, my goodness. I would have loved to have had your intake on some of the stuff we talked about earlier. Y'all got my star ID and my passport. That's right. That's me, AD. We got to stay on top because maybe we don't know when I am Black History, may have to pack up and get on up after this Joju. So make sure you got your star ID. She said, dang, I know, right? Because I love your input on some of these details we've talked about. We talked about a lot of stuff. But I want y'all, this one, everybody can have an input on this. Y'all, I saw this over here on the TikTok, and I had to share this. I had to share this with you guys. This lady, child, her name is Ebony. Baby, when I tell you Ebony,
Ladies, get your money out of Wells Fargo Expedition.
Ebony went down there to the Wells Fargo a few days ago, and baby, she showed them who was the boss. I want y'all to pay attention though.
Ladies, get your money out of Wells Fargo expeditiously. I know you've seen the post going around where people are saying they are restricting women from having access to their bank accounts, lowering the limits. Well, baby, Wells Fargo tried it with me, but they tried it with the wrong one. It's my bust down account because I actually use a credit union. But in this account, I had a little bit of money in there, and I have my mom as an authorized user, so I can give her a credit card. I went online to make a bank transfer. It wouldn't let me do it. So I called the bank, and they tell me there's been a fraud alert, even though there's been no fraud activity because I'm online looking and all the charges are justified. This account is strictly for my bills that go on autopilot. So there's nothing fraudulent about this account. They say it's fraud. They connect me to that department. They verify me. And do you know these people actually said, we need to speak to the authorized user? Excuse me? Why on earth do you need to speak to somebody who I only added to the account so they have a credit card? This person knows nothing about the account. So fine, I have my mom call back. Verified, the text to the number, all the things. And do you know they had the audacity to say, you need to visit the branch in person. In person. Why on earth does a person need to visit in person? So we let them know she physically cannot enter the branch, and we need them to make reasonable accommodations for someone who physically cannot enter the branch. And this is the law according to the ADA. Do you know those people told me at Wells Fargo, oh, well, sorry, we don't make accommodations for that. She has to come into the branch anyway. Excuse me? So you mean to tell me you freeze my account? I cannot access my money. You verify me, but that wasn't good enough. You need to verify the authorized user, which is strange as hell. Never heard of that before. You verify the authorized user, still not good enough. You need the authorized user to come in person. Authorized user cannot come in person. We ask for reasonable accommodations according to the law, ADA, and you say, fuck you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss, but that's what it was. I even asked the person on the phone, on the recorded line, mind you, tell me what your ADA rules are. What accommodations do you make? You can open an account online from the comfort of your home. You can discuss everything online from the comfort of your home. Why is this situation any different?
Y'all, when we gonna stop fooling with Wells Fargo? When? What is it gonna take for us to stop fooling with Wells Fargo?
You know what that lady told me on the recorded line? Sorry, I don't know what to say. We just don't make accommodations for that. The only way to clear up this bank account and get your money unfrozen is for your authorized user to come to the bank in person. Get your money out of Wells Fargo.
Your authorized user is a person that you add to your account. Child.
As a matter of fact, get your money out of all U.S. banking systems and go to a credit union. They're not about to do this to us. No, thank you. And I need the CEO of Wells Fargo to call me. Pronto. Ladies, get your money.
I'm gonna show y'all what she dealt with at Wells Fargo. This is her at Wells Fargo. Baby, when I tell you she called the law, they thought she was playing. She said, they don't know who they got in this office. I want my money.
So you're filming, great.
Yeah.
You know, that's great for you to do.
But I have made it very clear I'm not leaving without my money, which is why I said I'm calling the police, because if you try to tell me I'm not getting my money, it will be a problem. And I'm just letting everybody know.
Okay, so
there's a debit block on your account.
Okay. So
She has a considerable amount of money in this account. Considerable amount of money. Not no couple thousands. She got some thousands. She got some thousands in there. Okay. And she said this is just a fund that she uses to play, a little fun stash. She said she don't even use it. She make purchases here and there, but it's not one that she uses all the time. She uses a credit union for her daily activities. But the very fact that she went to do something and couldn't use her card, she realized they had put a hold on her debit card. So she went to find out why. And child, they didn't want to give her money. If she called the police on them. They tried to make her go outside the bank. I'm not going to go out through her entire video. They tried to make her go outside the bank. She said that was a ploy to get her outside. And she actually made another video said, don't step outside. She said they kept trying to get me to leave. Don't leave. You make them give you your money. She told them she wanted a cashier's check. They kept telling her why they couldn't do it. It was this reason. They gave her 20 different, and none of the reasons made any sense. None of it made any sense. Baby, she left there with all her money in the cashier's check. Baby, don't play with us. Do not play with us. What is it going to take for us to stop going to Wells Fargo? Wells Fargo has proven time after time that they don't care about us. Look what they did to Wendy Williams. Look what they did to Wendy Williams. And now Wendy Williams has been proven that there's nothing wrong, that she doesn't have dementia. After this woman done went through all her money. Child, what is it going to take for us to stop fooling with Wells Fargo? Terry says, I work at a bank. I work a bank and all are, let me say, we're gonna catch up with you, Terry, because I think I know what you're trying to say. My niece works for the fraud department and she's ready to leave them right now. I don't blame her. I do not blame her. All this wrong. It would be the owner of the account. Exactly. You don't need the authorized user to do anything. Let me tell you something. I have a couple of credit cards that my daughters own as authorized users, right? And it's only to boost their credit. You know where that card is? I got it. You don't need the card. Now, I take that back. Now, one of them, she has a Victoria's Secret card that she uses. Now, she does use it, but she sends me the money after I fuss at her a little bit, like, hey, you owe me X, Y, and Z. She just sent my money. But child, that's a mess. She should sue. She really should. You heard her say she needed the CEO of Wells Fargo to give her a call. Child, credit union is the way to go. I agree. But the only thing with credit unions that's me AD is if you travel out of the country, you have a problem with credit unions. So you do need a bank. You just need to watch what you put in. I actually bank with 3 different banks. I bank with a credit union, then I have 2 national banks. One of them, BOA, is all over the world. So I can use them freely, right? So if need be, I can transfer money out of the credit union over to BOA. And if I'm in Italy, I can use, get some money out of the account. And we'll talk about that on some of my travel. We need to talk about what we should and shouldn't do when we go out of this country, how we should use currency, what we should do with currency, how to order currency, so on and so forth. We're going to talk about that in one of the things. This is done 47 levels. Shit. The banks run amok when certain folks are in office. They don't give a damn about consumers at all. But Wells Fargo has proved over and over how much they are willing to hold our money over and over. But I agree with you, Symmetry. This is some Trump stuff. This is it. The authorized use is just a user that the owner has invited. Exactly. My bad. That's okay, Terry. I figured that's where you were going with that. But I was like, let me move on there because maybe I thought maybe you cleared it up. And you did. So that's true. So yeah, at the end of the day, we're not gonna act like Wells Fargo ain't out here running amok with our money. Child, out here doing the ooey and the fool. Y'all, let's look at Tisha, y'all. Tisha out here, baby, they done opened up the Scott Realty Group, and baby, they doing it. I just saw this pop up, so I just wanted to look at it real quick. This is Tisha at the house. Let me take the volume off. This is Tisha at that house that they have for sale, the modern house that the people were complaining about, but it looks absolutely gorgeous, and I would buy it if I lived in Huntsville because it's a beautiful home. But let's look at Tisha. Tisha's pretty anyway, y'all. Can y'all hear it? Where's the volume? Where's my sound? She's talking, but there's no sound. Okay. We're going to keep looking. She's selling a black hat. I know that's right. You better do you a photo shoot, Letitia Scott. But I wanted to show you guys her at Scott Realty. Here we go. This was posted this week. Scott Realty Company. This is bigger than a listing. It's a sisterhood. It's strategy. It's women who know their power and use it together. Honored to collaborate with these incredible Kappa Alpha women, aka, let's just get on to it. On my current listing, the energy is unmatched, the leadership is strong, and the results speak for themselves. Women working together is a whole different level of power. And as we see, this Letitia and a group of ladies who are collaborating on this here project by Scout. Oh, baby. And beautiful, beautiful. Y'all can go over to Instagram and watch and read the information. But this house, I believe, is ready for purchase in Huntsville, Alabama. This is the Scott Realty, I believe, is the ones who have the listing. But child, look at here, look at here, look at here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Scott Real Estate, child. And I believe Tisha's been she's been showing us things. Where's her showing us the steps that light up? Let me see if I can get back over here to her. She actually shows.
I'm super excited about the projects we have going on right here in Huntsville, Alabama. Huntsville is one of the fastest growing cities in Alabama with a
This was a year ago, but she shows us that house.
so busy today, and this is the perfect location, guys. Listen, this office space, it is small enough but also big enough. If you're a content creator, if you're a videographer, if you're a photographer, if you're a podcaster, you want your own space, and this is perfect. Even if you're just tired of working from home and you want your office space, this is the perfect location. It is small, it's cozy, but you can make some $1 million ideas right here in this space. So it's for lease. Give me a call, 256-403-7368, and let's lease out this office space.
I love that. I love that for Letitia. If you are in the Huntsville area looking for office space, hit her up. She got a space right there. And I don't think she shows it a little bit. Let's see. Those walls are gorgeous.
Nice.
Beautiful. Small enough, but yet big enough and roomy enough for you to set up an office. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I'm happy for Scott Realty, Sculpt, and Letitia Scott as they move forward. You should have different bank accounts with different banks. You can't trust none of. Actually, you just got to always stay on top of your accounts. You do, Terry. You do. Yeah, that's me, AD. I'm happy for Letitia. I am so happy. Okay, y'all. Let's get on over here. We're going to round this up and finish. How well do you know the news for this week? How well, let me see the name of this. This is actually from the Associated Press. As you know, that's normally where I get my news from. It says, do you know what happened this week? Let's test your knowledge. It's been a busy week in news cycle. Test your knowledge of the biggest stories and see what you might have missed in the Associated Press weekly quiz. So, what did the Clintons agree to do in the Epstein House investigation? 1, pay attempt fees. No, they ain't doing that. Sit for depositions. No. Provide sworn declarations. No. Testify only in public. They agreed to testify only in public. Oh, no, they agreed to sit for deposition. I guess that would be true. They're going to do it in public, but they're going to sit for depositions because they are going to sit before the House committee. My bad. Question number 2. What evidence at a Tucson home pointed to the abduction of Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother? The car missing from the garage, a house set on fire. Neighbors saw a van, sign of forced entry. I'm going to say sign of forced entry because I really don't know the answer to this this one. It was signs of forced entry. Correct. Investigators say DNA tests have confirmed that blood found on Nancy Guthrie's front porch came from her. The doorbell camera was disconnected early Sunday morning, but the company was unable to recover any video. What sheriff staff did the Washington Post lay off this week? Anybody remember what it was? Was it 1/10? They laid off 300 of 800 people. So let's figure that out. That's less than half. I mean, that's more than half. I mean, less than half. So there would be, I would say, 1/3. What would you think? We're right. The Washington Post laid off 1/3 of its staff Wednesday, eliminating its sports section, several foreign bureaus, and its book coverage in a widespread purge that represented a brutal blow to journalism and one of its most legendary brands. What slogan did many stars wear on pins at the 2026 Grammys to protest immigration crackdowns? End deportation, abolish ICE, families belong together, or ICE out? It was ICE out. I saw the pins. Several celebrities wore pins saying ICE out to protest the U.S. immigration and customs enforcement's presence in cities. Question number 5. Which country saw a top official resign after new U.S. Epstein files were released? Hungary, Slovenia, Slovakia, or Austria? It was Slovakia. Correct. What U.S. brand designed Team USA 2026 Winter Olympic ceremony uniforms? Adidas, Under Armour, Ralph Lauren, or Nike? We already talked about that. It was Ralph Lauren. Question number 7. How much is TSA confirming ID fees for U.S. flyers without a real ID or passport? $25, $45, $75, $60. It was $45. Question number 8. This year's 86 Grammys made history in the Album of the Year category. What happened? It was a first win for an all Spanish language album, streaming only viewers, first tie declared, first live album wins. No, it was first win for an all Spanish language album. Bad Bunny, remember, won Album of the Year. According to doctors, what bidet setting is safest for everyday use? Cold water, high pressure. High pressure with soap. Hot water, strong jet. Warm water, low pressure. It's going to be warm water, low pressure. We don't want you ruining your bottoms. Which Minute Maid products are ending in the U.S. and Canada over 80 years? After 80 years, I'm sorry. Frozen juice concentrates, refrigerated orange juice, zero sugar juices, bottled lemonades. It's the frozen juice, which I'm sad to see go. All right, we got 9 out of 10, and we would have got the first one if I'd been thinking, but I wasn't thinking very fast. The first one was that the Clintons have agreed to sit for depositions, which is why they're going to be sitting in front of the Oversight Committee. Anywho, she said, LOL, I'm wrong. On the iced out, y'all, I was looking at it on their website, so I couldn't see. You guys, I am so glad that you guys join me Saturday after Saturday for my Saturday morning scoop. I really cannot express how appreciative I am for you guys coming in, sitting with me, because you don't have to do it. You can be anywhere, but over here with me. And I appreciate you doing that. So if you don't mind, give me a like, subscribe, comment. If you're watching this in a replay, hashtag replay, and tell me what it is that you like about these things, that you like about whatever we talked about today. And I, again, am so glad to have you here. I've been in the bushes. My hands have been wet cutting up these wet veggies. Love it here. I love you being here, Miss AK. I appreciate all of you guys. Believe it or not, I love me some us. I love me some us. Again, I am Black history. You are Black history. You are a queen. You are a king. Whatever that may look like. Look, Symmetry still answering questions. Bad Bunny, right? Bad Bunny. And no one told you today, I love you. I love you. And there's a thing you can do about it. When I say I love you, I mean I love you with the love of the Lord. Because there's no way I can see Jesus or see heaven and not love my neighbor. All right. So I hope to God that you love everybody too. And you just ain't out here pretending to be whoever and whatever, whenever. All right. Y'all have a great day. Bye bye.